Welcome to another Warcraft the audio commentary today, guys. We're watching 1 or 2 or 3 games or something like that. I don't know how many games we're going to watch. What we are going to be doing is checking out a game from Dog Cup Broadcast. This is from the earlier rounds in the bracket, so they're not best of 3s. This is just a best of 1, and we might check out a couple of the other ones that were played in the earlier brackets before the finals. Or the semifinals. I don't actually know how things worked out. But let's go ahead and introduce our players. In the upper left, we have the Red Undead spawning in. His name is WFZ. Pretty cool guy, cool cat. One of the best undeads around right now. Possibly even the best. I don't know. He's really good. The map is obviously Terranistan, and down in the lower right corner of the map, we happen to have a Blue Night Elf. It's EleGaNt, playing under the name Black Kira. So he is playing under all kinds of different names. Rickard and Black Kira. I don't know. I guess he's just having a bit of fun with a name generator, or maybe just like famous Chinese movie superheroes who, I don't know. I don't know if those are superheroes in Chinese fan fiction, but they could be. They could be. So we don't have an observer slot, so obviously we're going to have to go with the Flag of the War off, but we can kind of turn that on and do what we did last time and kind of have fun with the Flag of War, because we don't get to do that too often, and we don't usually want to, but we can do that now and then. Demon Hunter coming out for EleGaNt. He's chilling out, getting that, picking up the Ancient of War creep. He's going for that. Also, he's going to come over here and scout with this Wisp just to see what is he up against, and it's looking like it could be, it's definitely going to be a ghoul build. Whenever you see the second Ziggurat, that's a dead giveaway. Otherwise, you know, it could be tech, it could be just, you know, one of those 5 fiend tech things, or 5 ghoul or 4 ghoul techs. But if you see a second Ziggurat, that means they want to make additional ghouls, because you don't need the second Ziggurat to tech, and you can get plenty of wood and plenty of income. So if you see the second Ziggurat, it's always going to be more ghouls. It's going to coil creep out this Apprentice Wizard. One of the hard things you're going to find on this map is to be in a to really kind of out creep the elf, because they have just a wonderful additional great number of, wait, what am I saying? They have an Ancient of War creep spot here that can easily walk over here, and they can put one up here, they can put one up over here. They have a lot of different options. Usually they save this one later for their Panda with their Tree of Life creep, because it just kind of works out well, and there's just a ton of other kind of slightly more aggressive but still fairly easy spots to creep. You can see the Demon Hunter is, the Death Knight is on his way down the south path. Oh, whoops. He's going to be able to immediately get a coil off on that Wisp, because he doesn't want it to give too much scouting information. Something happened. I guess that Wisp was used to drag the creeps out, so he could pick up this Forest Troll Shadow Priest right here, bringing his Demon Hunter as well through the middle of the map. This thing is being attacked by this little creep. I mean, I don't even know what that's all about, but he's not too worried. It's doing 3 damage every 2 seconds or something, 1.5 seconds. That's not a big concern. It's gonna kill the ghoul, picks up a bit of experience. Got another skeleton guy coming down this way into the base, trying to deal a little bit of harass. Just seeing what can he do. How annoying can he be? The undead player is trying to creep out right now using just the Death Knight and Skeleton Warriors. Wants to be kind of careful not to get mana burned, but check this out. Cloak of the Shadows totally going to trick out this Demon Hunter. He's going to be like, where did the Death Knight go? Nobody knows. He's going to run back down? Probably not, because it seems like he just scouted down there. He knows, well, he didn't see him, so clearly the Death Knight's not down there. I mean, clearly he just scouted. So he's going to come up here. He's going to see, oh, look, there's ghouls. Okay, so the Death Knight is maybe, who knows? No one knows where the Death Knight is except the Undead player, and that's how the Undead likes it. The Elf player going to go for the Harass. With a bunch of ghouls, though, he's not going to accomplish much of anything. However, he will keep the ghouls in their base, when clearly they wanted to leave, so that's a bit of a win-win for the Elf player. Bit of a loss, I guess, for the Undead, really. But he will be able to pick up level 2, so he doesn't really care too much. Over here we can see the Elf player going to pick up Boots of Speed, most likely, selling a Ring of Protection. He's also going to go ahead and kill this Forest Troll Shadow Priest. He's feeling pretty safe right now. He did pick up the Boots of Speed. He can even kill this Sasquatch if he wants to, and he's definitely going to want to. We do have that Forest Troll Shadow Priest healing him up. The ghouls could potentially scout this. They're going to run over that away just a little bit. Maybe they were intending to creep this out themselves. Not going to happen. Level 2 on the Demon Hunter. They are going to do a bit of damage, but not much of anything. They're just going to force those archers to run away. He will pick up a Wand of Illusion as well as half a level 2. So that's not too bad. Over here we can see the shop going up. Tree of Life, Tree of Ages almost finished. There's this Ancient of War here that he's going to go ahead and pull the creeps onto. If you pull, you wake them up, then you walk over to the other side. You can right click on it, and they won't just kill you. Like, what happens is if you attack from this angle, then they'll just keep attacking you. But if you can go around and start attacking it, it kind of forces them to attack the building instead, which is useful. With that Wand of Illusion, actually able to creep out the rest of that without taking pretty much any kind of damage. So that's kind of fantastic for Mr. EleGaNt. He's playing really well recently. Gonna pick up a Naga Sea Witch as the second hero, which is wonderful with the gold play. Obviously, he's trying to go for the tier 3 timing. Well, I say that. He might not be. He might be going for some really early aggressive play here at tier 2. But it looks like this is definitely what we would expect to see because he got the graveyard, so he can start making fiends. He's gonna get a mana burn on, is it level 2? Level 2, so probably was on the Naga because the Naga is running low on mana. Yeah, so it was definitely Naga just burning that guy twice. Doing some hits, trying to slow this Demon Hunter down enough so he can get us around. Not really going to happen because it's kind of difficult to do. Although, if he goes for a mana burn and a bit of blocking from that Death Knight, it might be enough. But, oh, just not quite enough. Barely missing that. That surround was really close. Going to go ahead and burn the coil on the Demon Hunter. You may as well. You're going to lose your mana anyway. EleGaNt matching the Naga pickup with a second Naga. Gonna pick off a ghoul. This is gonna be a bit of a problem, really, because no matter what happens here, when you have to fight Naga versus Naga, who's gonna actually win? This is crazy. He's just taken this Demon Hunter. He's gonna try to kill the Naga. Will he be able to? He's gonna force a TP. Both players TP. That's insanity. That is insanity. I don't even know what to say. That's actually kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting both to have the TP. But yeah, it's definitely going to be the tier 3 push. The timing push from the elf or the undead player. It's designed to hit around the time that the expansion either goes up to the time where it finishes. You have a bit of leeway. You can hit wherever you're the strongest at. Looks like that Ancient of War did go down, so that early pull by the Death Knight was actually able to kill it, which is wonderful for the undead player. It means he's going to have to take a bit more damage, although because he has that illusion, it's going to significantly reduce the amount of damage he's going to have to take. He has picked up a Staff of Preservation on the Naga Sea Witch for EleGaNt. I'm going to go ahead and staff his something back here. His Archer? Yeah, his Archer. Fair enough. Once this goes down, he says, I don't actually want to take any damage that I don't need to, so he's going to back off from the creep. Just take the experience he wants and runs. We do see this Naga Sea, which is very low for WFZ. However, he's getting statues out here pretty soon. The Slaughterhouse is almost finished, which means he'll be able to start healing that guy up. But he does pick up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in the meantime, because he probably is going to need it if there's any kind of engagement prior to the point where he can actually heal up. And because of how aggressive EleGaNt's playing, it looks like that might just happen. The other consideration that we kind of have to look at right now is that this is an interesting timing that EleGaNt's pulling here. He's got this Naga Sea, which he can absolutely be aggressive. Gonna miss the coil on the gold by just a millisecond here. Needs to try to avoid having to use the Lesser Invulnerability Potion because of, careless actions, because he really doesn't need it just yet, because he can easily walk into the space and use that Nerbian Tower to kite. He's gonna be doing that. Dodging the Dryad Fire, very important right now as well, because had he gotten slowed down, it would have cost him that 150 gold. And not only is it costing him 150 gold, it's the opportunity cost, because it's going to cost him when you use the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, it means you won't have it later on, which is not really what you want. But here we do have that first statue out to go ahead and start casting its nice little healingness. It's casting its healing, its little healing waves, or whatever you want to call them. It's AoE healing spells. Going to see the Naga coming out a little too aggressively, but he's going to run right back into safety. Not really going to have too much of an issue. You're going to see the man burn onto the statue. Everyone knows the statue is really, really important. And he pops a lightning shield from the Demon Hunter? Yeah, from the Demon Hunter onto the statue. I don't know if that was the smartest, or the most effective, rather, use of that lightning shield. It does kind of prevent him from being able to easily micro it by just having a right-click on the Naga, but I mean, he can. It's got a fairly large range, so it's not really that big of a deal. The Lich is on its way out. The Elf player currently does not have an expansion up at all, so no expansion has even been built, or even attempted to be built. We have Orb of Venom being picked up by the Demon Hunter. There is no TP, so if the Elf player gets in a really bad spot, all he has is that Staff of Preservation. So that could go south for him quite quickly. Lich coming out. Ghoul Frenzy as well. Ghoul Frenzy actually very important if you're going to be using ghouls against the Naga, because obviously the Naga slows down with the cold arrows. Ghoul Frenzies with between Frenzy and Unholy Aura can actually kind of tank that well enough. And just because the Elf has stolen this entire gold mine, and he's stolen this mercenary camp, this goblin merchant up here, the Undead's actually under-leveled. It's level 3 Demon Hunter and level 2 Naga versus level 2 Demon Death Knight, and level 1 Naga, and level 1 Lich. Granted, we do have very close to level 3 on the Demon Hunter, I'm sorry, on the Death Knight, as well as very close to level 2 on the Naga Sea Witch for WFZ, but he is under-leveled. He's going to have to go ahead and try to take this fight because he's in a sandwich kind of position, but or rather, he's going to sandwich his opponent just a little bit here, but it's not that great. He's got like just the Death Knight over there. It's not doing a whole lot of damage or a whole lot of work. He's gonna have to micro that Fiend away from that bear. He's got to keep that alive if he can, because he's gonna need some kind of advantage at this point. He doesn't want to give too much XP over to the self player. He's gonna force the Death Knight, or rather the Demon Hunter, out of the fight. But the Demon Hunter does have, he's gonna go down, but he does pass the Staff of Teleportation, or Staff of Preservation, onto the Demon Hunter. It was on the Naga. The Naga died. Wasn't quite fast enough to get the pass and staff. Destroyer has been morphed. We're going to see one bear going down. Check this out. Mr. Demon Hunter running away. He doesn't care. And now we have a couple archers, or rather one archer and a couple dryads chilling out over here. That archer going to be able to survive. This dryad probably not going to be quite so lucky. No, he's not. He dies. But that's okay. So let's look at the food supplies right now. We can see that WFZ is sitting at 41 food, and his elf opponent, EleGaNt, sitting at 46 food. Again, no expansion yet, but it's something that could go up anytime for EleGaNt. He's got a good amount of scouting information. If we turn on the Fog of War for EleGaNt, we can see he can kind of see this stuff happening up here. It's not really a lot of, it's not much, but if the undead's creeping this green and this green and this green, if he's in that area, it's decent. You'll probably find out. And this one, you know, if he's creeping this or this, you'll probably find out as well. In fact, he's just got the intel he needed right there. What kind of intel is that? In fact, it means that he is going to probably see the undead coming right over this way right about now, so he knows to try to get a decent position. Not that there's a whole lot he can do there. He just needs to be, I guess, on alert more than anything. The Naga Sea Witch is that he's going to go to that shop. Is he looking to buy something? Picks up a second Staff of Preservation. Again, no town portal, so he's going to need to be careful. Going to have that expansion canceled right there. And this is going to be a fight that, again, this is kind of an adaptation by EleGaNt, because normally he would have had that expansion up faster, but he didn't want to die to the tier 3 timing push that we see the undead playing, and so he decided, let's play really aggressive and delay and have more units for when that push comes. And he does have quite a few units right now. He's doing pretty okay. He's been very aggressive. He's kept the undead army fairly small. There's no ghouls in this fight, for example. That Demon Hunter is playing incredibly aggressive, but he knows that he has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, which he just popped, and he also knows that he has the ability to staff out on the Naga Sea Witch. So if he gets too low here, he can just do that. However, if he gets too far away, then he won't be able to do that. He's trying to take the run this way because he can't really afford to walk into that. He's not going to get blocked by that statue, although it was very close. Meanwhile, the elf down here is going to retreat back to his base, and that Demon Hunter, moving so fast, is easily going to be able to evade the death blow, the killing blow from the undead army. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the undead he's at an experience deficit, and really there's still a fair amount of XP on the elf side of the map. I mean, this was creeped down just a minute ago, but he still has some more XP there. He's got an XP there. I mean, it's not a lot of XP. But he's got this orange camp up here, and then there's all the stuff up here that they're getting ready to probably vie for. And if we look at supply, once again, we can see WC still at 43, and this time EleGaNt sitting at 49. So we can definitely see that EleGaNt is keeping his position, his dominant position. His army is looking stronger and stronger. This time he's finally going to get that Tree of Life up. There's really not going to be any kind of contestation for that because the undead is so far away from it at this point. And the problem is that the undead, there's no way he's going to be able to secure an expo. We do see a sacrificial pit going up, but Boneyard also, that's fantastic. That means he can finally get some frost worms and finally deal with these bears and that Naga. I think it's a really good idea, especially if we see that EleGaNt decides to go super bear heavy. That Lich, as he TP's out, forced to pop a Potion of Invulnerability. That is a pain in the bum. It really is, because that you don't want that to happen, because now not only did you spend the 350, you had to spend another 150, and again you lose the time, the cooldown. So you could have had a second invul pot for an actual fight. So that was a really good creep jack right there by EleGaNt. It wasn't so much that it was a creep jack, but so much that really WFZ just can't fight right now. Boneyard coming out, or I'm sorry, Froststorm coming out. EleGaNt going up so he can try to break into upkeep. He's got 500 gold, 600 gold, and 34 wood. He might actually be forced into making another additional ghoul here, but they do have Frenzy, so 2 with Frenzy is usually enough. The problem is that these guys require 120 each. It's fairly intensive. If he wants any kind of upgrades, which he doesn't have currently, any at all, then he's going to need more ghouls just for wood, I think. But we do see the opponent, EleGaNt, has 1 attack upgrade currently. See, he's researching a 2nd attack upgrade. So that'll be interesting. And that Tree of Life about to finish. So the timing again is working out pretty daggone well for WFZ, because he knows the timing that this went down. He knows that he canceled it. It went down again, so he knows he has time to bank up and, or not bank. I'm rather sorry, not bank up, but rather he knows that he has time to build up an army before he goes for the attack, which he is going to be doing here probably pretty soon. He's got 1 Dryad. It's not worrisome to him. He can just go ahead and harass that Entangled Gold Mine. Just slow the expansion down a little bit. He may as well. This could be bad, though. He's getting caught in a rather terrible spot. He needs to get back over those. He's probably going to lose a Destroyer for this, and that will not be worth it. Oh, it lives with 1 HP. 1 HP. That is fantastic. He still has to make sure he can get out of this spot, though, because at this point he can't take any hits from even this guy. He's going to try to run across the map. He has a clear-cut path. If he goes for it, he will make it out, and then he can turn around, swing up this way, and that can buy him just a little bit more time without the elf attacking his base. At this point, though, he does have a Frostworm out, which means he's in a decent spot. We're going to see him unsummon the Sacrificial Pit. He doesn't really need a shade on this map. He knows what's going on. The game's up. The goose is up. What's going to happen has already happened. There's really no secret at this point. Just doing a bit of damage to the Sacrificial Pit because, you may as well. The undead gets less resources back out of it. And a 2nd Frostworm about to come out. Once that happens, I would say he's probably going to go for the push. He's currently sitting at 64 food. His opponent is sitting at 60 food. And we're possibly going to see 2 more Destroyers out of him as well because he's got the gold and the resources for it. So he could go for a pretty strong push right now. We're going to see a shop going down at EleGaNt's expansion. EleGaNt still has a pretty scary army. Level 5 on that Demon Hunter, level 3 on the Sea Witch. He finally has a TP this time. And there's only 4 bears. 4 bears, it is going to be quick work for these Frostworms. The other thing is once you kill the bears, then you can go for the Naga with those Frostworms. And we're going to see 2 bears immediately getting staffed out. The only issue is that he's 1 bear going down in a TP as well, so that went pretty well. Obviously, that went really well for the undead player. This is definitely a good time to push right now. He's even got an Abomination out. Does he have the Disease Cloud? I don't think he has Disease Cloud just yet, but that's okay. It's not a problem. The issue is that if he starts to mass a bunch of Dryads, then what ends up happening is the heavy air up here is pretty much useless against the army, but it's still good against the heroes. It's excellent. It's superb against the Naga Sea Witch. It's not bad against the Demon Hunter at all. He just has to make sure. The real problem is that the poison stacks from all of these Dryads. So one singular high HP unit can have its life just go down so fast and drained so fast when those Dryads actually attack and gang up on it like that. But here we go. If he goes for that Demon Hunter first, it's not the best. He's completely out of mana on the Death Knight, but he does have a Potion of Mana as well as a Scroll of Healing, so he's not in a bad spot. Scroll of Healing also on the Naga Sea Witch for WFZ. It could be okay. We're going to see some decent micro coming from EleGaNt here, just trying to keep those bears alive. Is that one going to get staffed out at what it looked like about 10 life. 2nd bear, however, will go down. He's trying to micro those worms away from the Dryads. He really doesn't want those taking this much damage. He wants to use those to kill that Naga Sea Witch. But right now, as well as the other bears that got staffed out, but right now he just doesn't have the facility to deal with that. There are too many Dryads stacked up right now. He needs to be using his Fiends, his Lich, and his Naga, ideally, to be taking down these Dryads. He could easily be focusing those down. No problem. That the Abomination's so low on life. He still hasn't popped that Potion of Mana. Going to pop it right now, but immediately the Demon Hunter's going to pop the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability here, so he's just going to kind of probably get some mana burns, and yeah, 1 mana burn, 150. That Demon Hunter, the Death Knight completely out of mana at this point. He's going to pop a Potion of Healing. He's very low. He's being focused. The Naga Sea Witch also for WFZ taking some focus as well. He's trying to back up. We're going to see some more focus fire on the Demon Hunter, but he will just staff it out with the Naga. He's maybe finally going to get into position. No, EleGaNt is just denying any position, even going to get Fork Lightning to kill WFZ's Naga Sea Witch. And that Naga Sea Witch over here for EleGaNt is in such a good spot. He's being focused by a lot of stuff, but he has a Potion of Healing as well as a town portal. And meanwhile, these Dryads are just doing work. They're 2 attack upgrade. It's hurting them really, really bad. And this is a fight. I mean, look at this. This is not a good position. His army is very ragtag at this point. He's going to have to back up. This is not what he wants. Dryads, a wall of Dryads just absolutely shuts this down. There's nothing that really WFZ could have done right there. EleGaNt microed it way too well. At this point in the game, he's going to have to do something crazy in order to come back and win this, because he's way behind right now, and there's nothing he can do to stop that expansion attempt. He can't win these fights. If he wants to go for him, I mean, he doesn't have mana for nukes. Nukes are his only hope. These frost rooms are just completely useless right now. There are no bears left in these fights. It's just Dryads, and we're going to see a scan, or rather a reveal from the laboratory to take one of those burrowed fiends down. It's not really a concern right now. Another fiend going down. There is a bear back here. He's even going to go ahead and do another reveal. Just let the bear kill it, because he doesn't need the bear in the range of the frost worms, and he doesn't really need the bears in these fights. All he needs is to kill the frost worms. Once the frost worms are gone, the bears can come in and clean up. Excellent micro, excellent play from EleGaNt. And that Demon Hunter, because he had that experience advantage from the earlier game where he just played so aggressively, I don't know what WFZ was supposed to do. I think he needed to change up his strategy or something, because this did not work at all. I still don't know what he can do at this point, because at this point he doesn't have the hero levels. I mean, like we said many times before, hero levels dictate how games tend to turn out when an undead and oftentimes when an elf is involved in the matchup. So when you're this far behind in hero levels, I mean, he's got level 4 on the Death Knight, he's got level 3 on the Lich, he's got level 3 on the Naga. If he can get 5-5-5, he could easily still win the game. If he get 5-3-3, he would be in a much better position. So I guess he just needs to be taking these fights. I think he really needs to focus on the Dryads. Normally you have to focus on the elf heroes to win the fights, but I think this is a position where maybe the undead needs to say, I'm not trying to win the fights, I'm just trying to get XP so I can win the fights. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. He's taking one Dryad down. We're going to see a Fiend also in a bad spot. It's going to immediately be scanned. He tried to burrow. At least he's burning reveals, which are, it's money. It costs money to do that, but I don't know. That Demon Hunter is so tanky. There's no destroyers to eat this rejuvenation, so he can just use those rejuvenations as much as he wants. Going for the Death Knight. The Death Knight is trapped, actually. The Death Knight's going to go down. The Demon Hunter's going to be staffed out. These Dryads are just putting in work. EleGaNt's micro is ridiculous right now. That bear will go down, but again, it just doesn't matter. He's trading so much to kill one bear. Both of these frost worms could easily die. Yeah, one's gonna go down to the fork lightning. Another one is gonna go down as well, just to a cold arrow. This Naga Sea Witch might go down for both of them at the same time. No, WFZ gonna lose his Naga Sea Witch. Yep, EleGaNt also lost his Naga Sea Witch, but GG's called by WFZ and the Lich goes down. Yeah, so it was quite a game. But I mean, EleGaNt just played it a lot better. At every turn, he played much better. He microed way better. He responded perfectly to those frost worms. The 2 frost worms would have worked really well if EleGaNt had just massed bears. If he had like 7 or 8 bears, 2 frost worms would have put in work. He would have easily won the fights. But when there's only 4 bears, you can't afford to have so much of your supply tied up in frost worms. They don't do anything against those Dryads. You gotta have fiends or abominations or something, meat wagons, anything that can kill those Dryads. That's important. And we just saw it. The wall of Dryads it hard countered his army basically, and there was just nothing WFZ could do. So a little bit of poor strategy maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But that's the first game, and it was a best of 1 because it was in the early rounds of the Dog Cup. So that's it, but we will go to break for just a short minute, and actually we'll cast another game. I think it's also from Dog Cup. We'll see in a minute. So stick around, stay tuned as we go to break. And something words. I don't know. I'll see you there. I'll see you in a minute. Sure. Goodbye.